July 2nd, 1951. Pansy Carpenter reached for the doorknob of her tenant's apartment to deliver a telegram, but she pulled back in a flash of pain. Fearing a fire, she called for help. When the police forced their way into apartment number 1, they didn't find a room engulfed in flames. They found a room that defied the laws of physics. In the center of the room sat a pile of ash where an armchair used to be. Inside that ash was a shrunken human skull and a single, perfectly preserved left foot. This was Mary Reeser. The FBI was called in, but they were baffled. The fire had been hot enough to cremate a human body, usually requiring 1,500 degrees yet. A pile of newspapers inches away wasn't even singed. The plastic on the nearby radio hadn't melted. This is our first entry in the file of the human candles. Mary Reeser wasn't the first, and she wouldn't be the last. The Sanborn Cipher has tracked this phenomenon back centuries. In 1731, the Countess Cornelia Bandi of Italy was found in a similar state, a pile of soot between her bed and the window, with only her stockings and lower legs remaining. In 1980, Henry Thomas of South Wales was found in his living room, reduced to ash while his television sat just feet away, the plastic casing completely unharmed. In 2010, an Irish coroner officially listed spontaneous human combustion as the cause of death for Michael Faherty. The first time in modern history, a government official admitted the impossible was the only explanation. The pattern is always the same: a localized, incredibly intense heat, no struggle, and the eerie survival of the victim's feet. Science, of course, looks for a rational answer. The most accepted theory is the Wick Effect. Think of the human body as an inside-out candle. Your clothing or hair acts as the wick, and your body fat acts as the wax. If a person loses consciousness, perhaps from a stroke or a sleeping pill, and a small spark from a cigarette or a fireplace lands on them, slow-burning fire begins. As the skin breaks, the body's fat melts and soaks into the clothes, fueling a smoldering fire that can burn for hours. This explains why the fire stays so small and localized. It also explains why the feet survive. There is very little fat in our lower legs to fuel the candle. But for many investigators, the Wick Effect doesn't quite fit the speed or the intensity of the bone destruction seen in these files. If the Wick Effect is the rational answer, the fringe theories are far more haunting. Some researchers point to a phenomenon called static discharge. We all know the tiny shock of touching a doorknob, but could a biological glitch cause a person to build up a massive internal charge? A lightning bolt from within that ignites the body's gases? Others investigate ketosis, a metabolic state where the body produces acetone, a highly flammable chemical. Could a specific diet or medical condition turn our own cells into an explosive cocktail? Then there is the Puritan theory, a hypothetical subatomic particle that, under the right conditions, triggers a chain reaction in human atoms. It sounds like science fiction, yet the piles of ash remain very real. There is a darker possibility. Are we, in essence, walking batteries? The human heart and brain run on electricity. Every cell in your body has a voltage. If that system shorts out, could the result be catastrophic? In many of these cases, the victims were elderly, often alone, and often in a state of deep rest. Is it possible that in the moments between life and death, the body's energy is released all at once? We call it spontaneous, but perhaps it's simply a biological reset gone wrong. The mystery of the human candle remains one of the most polarizing files in the Sanborn Cipher archive. Whether it's a grisly forensic accident or a biological anomaly we don't yet understand, the cases of Reeser, Bandi, and Thomas serve as a reminder. We are much more fragile than we think. The next time you sit in your favorite armchair, remember the Cinder Lady? Are we truly safe in our own skin? Or is there a spark waiting to be struck? The file remains open. Tell us your theory in the comments, Wick Effect or internal spark. And if you want to help us decipher more of history's hidden truths, subscribe to the Sanborn Cipher. File closed. For now,